Hey there, Fight here with a quick review of EasyVSL. And by the way, this is not just a review, and although I'll be setting off in a sort of ranty mode, it's not meant to be a rant. This is actually a lesson in marketing. So pay attention to the actual, what they're doing here and why this is something you should adopt in all your marketing. So what we've got here is EasyVSL. It was a blockbuster launch, sold thousands and thousands of copies. Apparently lots and lots of people are very, very happy, and of course the affiliates are very happy, made lots of money. So I ended up buying it. Okay, cool. So let's go check it out because I wanted to create a video sales letter, and I've previously done it in PowerPoint with Camtasia, which kind of works together, but the actual splicing together was a pain in the backside. So I thought, okay, let's go check it out. And so what we've got here is we've got two options. You can either paste text, or you can start from scratch, meaning you basically develop one after the other, one slide after the other. Okay, I went for paste text, okay, and I'm going to call this whatever, demo, no, I can't even type anymore, demo review, whatever. Okay, and then you can pick a design. I just went for the basic package, which has plenty enough. I'm just going to go for plain white. Now, here's the first thing. All right, up here you choose a font, which is the font for the entire presentation. That's the default font. I basically forgot to choose the one I wanted. Okay, so because you click on here and it basically shows you some preview text, I just thought that looks pretty cool, so I went with that. Now it turns out, actually, when you go, this is Open Sans or Sans. When you go back to Allegria or whatever it's called, you get this, well, girly font. There you go. I didn't want that, but I left it on there and basically created my presentation. I then went and dumped my text in here. Okay, so this is the email I sent out to my list about this thing. Now here's the first thing, or the second thing. So we'll get back to the font thing in a second. In order for each slide you create in here, you have to basically enter Control Return. And then this little red thing appears and you've got a new line in there. Okay, cool. So I want to have this one here and this one and this one. Now, as you can see, I've got quite a bit of text in this email. So what would, in my opinion, make totally sense to at least have a button down here that says, hey, look, any line break, meaning any natural end of the line, this place and this place and this place, replaced by, or, you insert a new line break. Because I've already typed it in Word, so there's no point me having to go to each and every end of the line and over here and clack. Okay, so that's the first thing. So anyway, let's pretend I have this here, and again, this is all one slide. So go to next. So here are my different slides. It's created, all very cool, and I go to next. And here you go. That is that awful font. Now I can't change it. Okay, I can go in here and highlight everything and change it here. Yes, now it works, but if I go to my second slide, it's back to the girly font. Damn! So that's complaint number one. It's not really a complaint. I'm just saying, look, this is, they basically put out something that was very, very, very simple. It doesn't even have basic things like, I can't go back to design settings. That's the one I want to go back to. I want to be able to click on here. I can go to the dashboard. I can go to all the other ones, but I can't go to design settings. I asked Mark Thompson about it. No, it's not possible. It's coming, however, hopefully. So that was the two things so far were you can't change or go to design settings and change the presentation wide font, nor can you automatically. Now, you can't actually go back to the slide thing. Once you're in here, that's it. Now that might be an undo type thing, so because if I go in here and say, look, I now put this in whatever, green, there you go, and bold, of course. I imagine from a programming perspective, it might be difficult to go back to here and say, look, I actually want to break this into 2 slides or something like that. I don't know, but it's a pain in the backside. Okay, so anyway, I talked to Mark, and they are going to look into this. How to do it. So those two things, and then you save this thing. Okay, very cool. And you can publish it, and all this works fine. It works beautiful. Once you've got this done right, and you picked the right font, and you made sure the slides are broken down in the right way, and you can always add a slide here. So it's not a deal breaker, but in terms of ease of user experience, it's not great. once you've got it in here, it's fantastic. If you go to where are you going next here? Okay, basically you choose an audio file. So I recorded mine. Oops, hang on, no, wrong here. Yeah, I just moved this up so you see it better. Okay, so you choose an audio file here, which is an empty MP3. I recorded one in Audacity, which is a sort of free audio recording tool. And then you just play it here. And every time, actually, let's just choose one, okay? So test, boom, 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 there you go. So what you do is you basically say, all right, I want to play this until we get to this point here. You can just press play and it'll play. And then you say, okay, now it's time for, actually we'll go here. And now it's time for slide 2, boom. And then you play it a little bit until it gets here, for example, whatever. I'm just not going to play it now, so you don't hear the me actually reading out this thing. But you get the idea. It gets to here, you press pause, and then you click on your next slide. Boom. And there. That is beautiful. This part is absolutely fantastic compared to doing this manually in PowerPoint previously, or Camtasia in PowerPoint. So for that functionality alone, I absolutely love this tool. What I don't love was those two things I told you before. And of course, here's another one. So, we save this thing now. We've got our timeline. When you then publish, and it looks very, very cool. No doubt about it. At the end, the bit you get out looks very, very cool. So when you get here, you can say, look, here's my demo review. I can export this. So I thought, okay, no worries. I'm a geek. I can export this thing. I can open the file that's in there, take my code editor and replace the name of the font, the first font by the one I actually wanted. The Gaudi font goes out, open sans or sans comes in, everything's good. Well, there's no import functionality. I'm going, oh man, it's just like, terrible. So I guess what I could do is, well, actually, I don't even see any load functionality here, load and save. So I just don't know how one would do that. How you can get information in here. I guess what you need to do is basically you need to figure out where the program stores these files. Then you exit the file, exit the program, go edit those files if they're editable. But at the end of the day, not everyone wants to play with a code editor. So on that front, yeah. Anyway, big pictures. I then talked to Mark. I said, look, Mark, this is a bit dodgy. I'm going to show you the conversation here. I said, exactly quick questions regarding EasyVSL, export, no import. Easy way to change settings for the entire presentation. That's what I said, going back to design settings. And it's a way to have an automatic insertion of control return at the end of a line. And he says, they should be available later this week. Number 2, however, not at the moment. So that's the settings for the entire thing. So imagine that is actually a real programming issue. And number 3 should be easy, he said. Look at automatic insertion. It should be easy. And here's what's coming. All kinds of cool stuff. Ability to insert video into your presentation, one-click speech-to-text functionality, voice body API integration, translation of your slides into any language, publish your video without audio. Now, I can't even remember. I didn't watch the sales video. I just watched the JV page, and basically all this stuff was kind of at the back of my mind. I thought that's already in there. So what they've done is they've basically taken the absolute core essential functionality and went, like, let's put it out there, sell a few thousand copies, get user feedback, and then develop the stuff, basically prioritize what people really want. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's a bit dodgy, and in a way it is, because I was under the impression, hey, look, this looks very cool, and had it all been in there, and had I had time to test it, I probably would have promoted it, because it really does save a lot of time. But looking at this here, and I'm going, well, not so sure. However, take this as the core message of this entire video. In marketing, there is, had Mark gone out and implemented all of this here without any user feedback, that would have taken for absolutely ever, and he would have not have known. He would not have known. Jesus, he would not have known what is really important and what people are willing to pay for. This is a key thing, right? It's all very well asking people, hey, do you want voice bunny API integration? Everyone's going to go, yeah, sure, why not? But is it something people are willing to pay for? That's the key thing, right? So whenever you do your marketing, whenever you create products, whenever you're creating content for your marketing, squeeze pages, anything, go with the bare minimum. And if you get traction, then you take it further. Then you take it to the next level and go, right, now I can build on this. And then you can ask people, hey, you liked my free report on X, on whatever, doing slow roasted, rack of beef ribs. Do you also want the recipe for making the perfect gravy from the juices that run out of this beast? As you can tell, I've been slow roasting a rack of beef ribs all day long, about 12 hours now. My wife hates it. The whole house smells, if you ask me, stinks, if you ask her, of beef. Absolutely terrific. But you get the idea, okay? So create your products in the bare minimum style, and that's what Mark does really, really well. So although this video started out as seemingly a rant, it's not meant to be a rant at all. It's a great case study on how to do things so you can move forward quickly and to deliver to your customers exactly what it is they want. Okay? Sometimes you come across as a little bit like, what the heck are you doing? You're giving me the bare minimum. Where's the rest? If you have then everything in place to actually deliver the stuff that is really important, you're doing your customers a massive favor. So this is how to do marketing properly. Alrighty, enjoy.